to get better at any kind of skill, what do you got to do? Practice, right? So we're going to be practicing. We're going to be practicing reading. Let me write out the things that are involved, and then I'm going to explain them. I'm just going to use keywords here. Okay. First thing I want you to know, aside from this, when we're practicing, we are not actually going to be reading. Okay? This might sound a little strange. We're going to be practicing this material, but we're not really going to be reading. Think about it like this. Everyone's familiar. Think about when you practice for a sport or an instrument or, say, dancing. Let's take, I don't know, basketball. Everyone here is probably familiar with basketball. To practice to become a better basketball player, do you have to play 5-on-5 games with coaches, referees, fans, cheerleaders, and all that? No, there's a lot of different things you can do to practice for basketball, right? You can shoot jump shots, you can work on your defense, free throws, lift weights, do sprints, lots of things. Most people would generalize it into 3 categories for basketball. To practice for basketball, you have to work on your offense, you have to work on your defense, and you have to work on your strength and conditioning. Okay? Those 3 areas. Can you work on offense and defense at the same time? Not efficiently. Can you dribble a basketball and try to do bench press? Not unless you want to kill yourself. Right? We can only focus on one thing if we want to work on it effectively. So, same thing, instead of offense, defense, and strength and conditioning, with reading we have the same exact thing. When we practice for reading, we have our speed, we have our comprehension, and we have our recall. So 3 areas as well. Instead of offense, defense, strength and conditioning, we have speed, comprehension, and recall. We're not going to try to work on everything at once. That's what we do when we read. Okay? Just like a basketball player is practicing to prepare for a game, we're going to be practicing so that we can get better at reading. The way we're going to do this is through these 4 points. The first thing I want you to do, you're going to practice this material in front of you, you have to use your hand. Okay? You're going to be going margin to margin, line by line. You have to be using your hand. You can also use your finger if you want, or you can use a pen or pencil, whatever's comfortable for you. Okay? Second thing, well, first of all, why am I going to ask you to use your hand? What did you guys do when I asked you to count the lines? Yeah, you probably used your finger or a pen. Did anybody just look at it and go 27? No, it's easier if we just kind of touch every line and guide our eyes. This is because your eyes are naturally attracted to motion. In high school, I used to hate sitting by the doorway because every time somebody walked by, I had to look. Some of you maybe notice when you're trying to study in like the student center, you'll be studying and people walk by and you're like looking at them as though you know everybody at Drexel University, right? But this is because our natural instinct is to look at something that's moving, right? Our eyes naturally want to look at it. So we're going to take advantage of the fact that our eyes are attracted to motion. And we're just going to create motion on the page. Okay? So, number 2, what are we going to do? I just want you to see the words. Now, I know this sounds obvious, but what I mean by this is as you're going like this, you just have to be looking at the words. You just have to glance at them. You do not have to worry about reading them. So just see the words, don't read them, meaning I don't care if you get comprehension when we do these drills. Remember, we're not reading, we're just practicing. Think of it as a hand-eye coordination drill. Okay? This is not a reading comprehension exercise. This is to work on speed. Remember we said we can't work on everything at once? Speed, comprehension, and recall. We're just going to focus on speed right now for these drills. Okay? So you're just going to be using your hand. You're going to be looking at the words. The reason why I don't care about your comprehension is because I'm going to force you to go faster. Okay? I'm going to force you to see the words at a quicker pace than you're used to. How am I going to get you to do this? Remember this first line that we drew? That was 1 minute of reading. And then we read out loud for 1 minute, and we drew another line. So from here to our second line, this is 2 minutes of reading. Okay? So the first drill that we do, you have to make it from the beginning to your second line. Instead of 2 minutes, you have to make it there in 1 minute and 20. 1 minute and 20 seconds to make it to this line. So all you have to do is use your hand and go a little faster. Okay? And then we're going to do 1 minute 10. And then we're going to do 1 minute. And I'm going to force you to see words at a very, very quick pace. And the whole logic behind this approach is before you start reading and understanding the material faster, you just have to get used to seeing the words faster. Does that make sense? Once we get used to seeing the words faster, then we can say, okay, well, now that I know how to see the words at a quick rate, how do I understand this fast? All right? Last thing you have to do is just make sure you're concentrating. Okay? Concentrating, you don't have to understand anything. If you're getting any comprehension through this, it's probably because we already read it for 2 minutes the first time through. Okay? But you have to make it to your line in the amount of time that I give you. So 1:20 to start. And when you make it to your line, don't stop. Make it to your line and go back to the beginning and keep on practicing. Okay? But you have to use your hand, your finger, or a pen or pencil to guide your eyes. Any questions? We're going to do our first drill. Okay. 1:20, hands, fingers, or pens on the page. Ready, set, go. Okay, stop. How many people made it? Raise your hand. Yes? Okay, good. Let's do it let's cut it down to a minute. Okay, you have a minute to get from the beginning to your second line a little faster this time. Okay? 1 minute. Ready? Set, go. Okay, how many made it that time? Raise your hand. Okay, good. We're going to cut it down some more. Now, is your comprehension getting worse? Yes? Okay, if your comprehension is getting worse, we're all on the same page. I know this sounds weird, but at this point it's fine. It just means you're doing the drill correctly. It's supposed to get worse at this point. We're just going for speed. Don't worry about your comprehension. We're going to go 55 seconds now. Same thing. You have to make it to your line a little quicker again. Ready? Set, go. Okay, stop. How many made it that time? Okay, if you're missing it, it could be because you're trying to read a little bit. Anybody have an urge to read? Sometimes, yes, this is common. We're going to have to fight that urge because now we're going to do 50 seconds.